Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we will see how to create a new submission for select home product HO3. Particularly, we will see. So we have the existing account which we have created. On this same account, we will try and create a select home or new submission transaction. So before we begin with our transaction blessing, hi, do you want to set the context for this video?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, as Ashish mentioned in this video, we're going to cover the Actual 3. So probably you might have went through the initial recordings to understand what is the HO 3 policy and what is the difference between HO 3, 4, and 6. So just as a recap, if you own a home and if you want to cover a home, then you will need to take a HO 3 policy to cover your the perils and all the things to as part of their home policy. And next, the HO4 is a renter, so which means you don't own a home, but you live in a rental apartment. So in that case, we will go for HO4, and HO6 is basically a condo, wherein it's a gated apartment or gated community, wherein the common areas will be covered by the management and your building component will be covered by your policy, which is provided under HO6 insurance. So, as part of this video, we will talk about HO3. We will take you through the policy creation steps for HO3, and as part of the exercise, you can cover HO4 and HO6. And then let's start with HO3.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Blessing. So in order to create a new submission on from an existing account screen, we will click on Actions, and we have the option for New Submission here. Then on New Submission, we will select the producer code. The default state is Michigan. Default effective date. Please remember, guys, we have to take the system date. We have to check for the system date first. So system date is 8th of December 2021. We are selecting select home product HO3, HO4, and HO6. So we'll select home. Now here on this qualification screen, we have to choose which particular product type we have to select. So as a part of this demo purpose, we are selecting homeowners HO3 product, and then we will take you through the entire process. So these are the few home eligibility questions. As we saw it in select auto as well, there were few basic eligibility questions. So if we are not sure about any particular question what to answer, so for practice purpose we have the option of autofill, which will choose the answers in such a way that to complete the happy flow. But as part of requirement, if you want to generate a particular scenario, then we have to look at these questions more seriously. But as a part of this practice, we will go with autofill options at the moment, and we'll select next. This is the policy info screen. On this screen, we will see what are the mandatory fields which we have to fill up before we go ahead. Paperless communication, we are selecting as no at the moment. And I click on next. This is the prior insurance. If the insured has any particular prior insurance, this is the screen where he can mention those details. As a part of this practice session, we are selecting as no. We'll go on next. So this is the dwelling screen where we need to define the property details, house details. So by default, it picked the location from that insured person, what we have added. Then residence type, what are the mandatory fields? We will just quickly fill those. Primary, number of occupants, 2. Construction year, 2020. Yes, no. Okay. Let's see if there is anything on the screen at the moment. So protection class, this is one of the integration points. So by default, it has selected the value of 5. Sprinkler system, I am just adding yes. Fire alarm, localized. Extinguisher, yes. Alarm, localized. Single point detection. So all these questions, right, whatever we are answering based on this, the actual underwriting of this policy and then premium will be decided. So dwelling protection class is one of the integration points. So before we move ahead, Blessing, do you want to add anything on this screen for this screen?
So just to take a difference between whenever you create a homeowner and a auto policy, you can take a look into the different screens. So
Yes.
actually, as part of auto policy, you could have seen a driver in screen or the vehicle screen where you collect the driver information or a vehicle information. But in case of homeowner, we are seeing the dwelling and the dwelling related details because homeowners, as part of HO3, the risk is basically the home, which is which location the home resides. So that is the risk actually. Yeah, so that is the reason the initially we are having the location details. In the detail screen, you have a location. Can you go back to the detail screen? Yeah, the location is the actual address. And then on that address, what are the additional information that we have to collect? So meaning, right? So let's assume a fire is one of the most common peril, right? So if fire occurred, how far the fire service station is, who can able to come and support the insured. So those details are given in the protection details. So you can able to go to the protection details. You can able to see the lot of information related to the location are gathered actually. Can we click the protection details?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, here you can able to see what is the protection class, what is the responding fire department, and whether the home has a sprinkler system, whether it has a fire alarm, all these things are captured here. So why these information are being captured is as long as it has a lot of security measures and everything, then which means even though if the loss has happened, there is a way to control it, and there is a easier access to get it controlled. So based on that, the insurance company can able to come up with a lesser premium. But in case if there is no fire alarm or if there is no fire extinguisher and all those things, right? Then obviously, whenever a peril like fire has occurred, then obviously the controllability measures could be very less, and the risk is more basically, and they have to increase the premium. And you can able to see certain details got pre-filled. It may be because of since we click the autofill option to pre-populate some of the values by integrating with the third-party system so that it can able to retrieve the data and populate it so that the user may not need to rekey in. Okay, and
Yes.
additional interest. Can we go to the additional interest screen? Yeah. So in any home, right? In case if you are having a mortgage in it, then you have to declare the additional interest. Who are all the additional interest as part of the transaction? The reason of collecting the additional information in detail is because when a loss has occurred, let's assume you have a home and you have um, taken a loan from the bank, and at that point in time, whenever there is a risk that's happened to your home, obviously during that point in time, you may not able to pay the loan because already your property is also under loss, and you may be having additional losses on how to cover that. So any changes you make to the policy or anything, if your policy gets cancelled in between, the insurance company has to communicate to the additional insured in case if you have a home loan, because they are also going to get impacted if you do not have a proper insurance. So that is the reason the additional interest information is captured. It is required whenever there is a loan on the specific home.
Yes, yes. Sure. Thank you very much, Blessing. So shall we move ahead?
Yeah, yes, please.
Yes. So we'll click on next from dwelling screen. Then this is a dwelling construction screen where we have to fill up some more details about the construction. So year built, we can randomly change value. We are retrieving default RCE. RCE is nothing but the replacement cost estimator. Okay.
And
Okay.
this RC is specifically to know the replacement cost in case if the entire home has been damaged, then how much of coverage you need to get it covered. So that's what this RC is. And there is an integration service, as Ashish mentioned, where it can bring the data from the external
Yes, we
system.
have option here to edit, to retrieve, and to view the RC. So this is the RC value we have retrieved, and this is the replacement cost estimator. So there are multiple factors which we can view it from here, on which it has got calculated. So now we will move on next. Okay, so these are the report screen where we have option to order the insurance score. So I'm selecting yes, retrieve insurance score. Okay, so it has been received. As you can see, this is the insurance score. Current insurance score is 567. Then we'll click on next.
Yeah, in the report screen, in the auto quote also, we might have seen a report screen where the insurance score, the vehicle loss details, and the prior vehicle history and the MVR reports all are gathered. So similarly for homeowners insurance, obviously the insurance score is required because that tells how much, how far the quality of the payment that's done by the insured on his existing financial things, how regularly is making his payments in insurance for insurance policies, or if he has any loan, how good he is paying it, or if he has any credit card bills, how is he paying it? So that all those things are provided by the insurance score. You can see the losses. So obviously, if there is any prior losses, then that can be retrieved as part of the screen. And then you have a home loss history reports. So in this specific home, if there is any um, loss reports, then obviously that can also be retrieved here. So all this information, or why we are capturing all this information, is in order to come up with the premium. So and also to assess the risk, because let's assume there is another person who owns the home, but his credit history is good and he has no losses, and he has also maintained the home in a very proper manner. So obviously, the insurance company cannot charge the same premium for both these kinds of characteristics, right? So obviously, it depends on the risk that is possessed on the individual insured. They have to come up with the premium. That is the reason they are calculating and retrieving all these details to come up with the premium.
Yes, thank you very much, Blessing. So we'll go on next onto the coverage screen. So as we had seen on the select auto as well, based on our inputs, the system calculates the coverages, different applicable coverages, and we always have the choice. If you want to go for more amount of coverage, we always have a choice to select more coverage amount, and based on that, the premium will be calculated and will be applied. So if we don't wish to change any coverage particularly, then we can click on next. So this is a scheduled personal property screen wherein we are taking the insurance for that particular dwelling, right? If we want to insure a particular personal properties, personal belongings within that dwelling, we do have option to set up or schedule a personal properties, for example, jewelry or fine arts or furs, which can also be insured along with this dwelling. So at the moment, we are not adding any particular personal property. Before we go ahead, Blessing, do you want to set anything? about the personal properties given.
Yeah. So as when you try to do your transaction between HO3, 4, and 6, go through the coverage screen in all the three different policies so that you can able to see the difference. So in HO3 policy, in the coverage screen, you can able to see the coverage A, B, C, D, E, and F, right? Because when it comes to your HO4, you can able to see the differences. So like that way, you can able to understand what are the different coverages that are provided under HO3, what is provided under HO4 and HO6. Okay, and you can able to see there are some exclusions here next to coverages, because whenever a policy is getting, whenever you are trying to get a quote right, you have to declare all the details of the home, and you want to understand whether your home is completely protected or not. Sometimes if you do not want to cover a specific portion or something like that, then obviously you can go for exclusions. And similarly, the insurance company can also give you some option in order to select some of the exclusions. So it depends on the nature of the product. For HO 3, 4, 6, there can be different exclusions. So you can also go through and select those exclusions.
Yes. So now we'll go on to next. So at the moment we are not adding any personal properties along with the dwelling. So we will go on next. So this is the risk analysis screen, as we had seen similar screen onto select auto as well. So at the moment there are no any underwriting issues. So currently it is blank, no issues identified. So we'll go on next. So this is the policy review screen where we can see whatever details we have filled up until now, different discounts and all other coverages we can see. So if we agree with all these details, we have option to quote on policy review. Okay, so policy has been quoted, then we are on payment screen. So we will have to select the payment option. Okay, then on quote screen, next, we go on to the form screen. So outstanding T-docs, as we had seen it earlier also. So we have options from actions, new document, upload document. Okay, so again, next, and then we have option proceed to buying on form screen. So please provide additional information required for the application. So there is something which still needs to be filled. So let's just check quickly. Dwelling, protection details. There is nothing. There is nothing. Yeah. So this option was earlier disabled. So now we have to order or retrieve home loss history. Okay, it has been received. And let's check quickly again. Policy review. replacement cost estimator must be validated. So we have to validate from here the retrieve. If it has been retrieved, and click on quote again. Okay, then next. So we are on payment screen. Payment method we have already added. So now we have option payment and bind. So we are selecting at the moment bind without membership and payment. UW issues that block the issues. So let's just check outfield home more than one primary residence, because we are creating policy on the same account, right? So we are just selecting at the both the issues and just approve. Okay, go on to payment again. Okay, so our policy has been created. This is the policy number 21641. If we select the policy, has been submission status. If we go on to account, we can see this policy is in info status. So this is the standard way to create a select home HO3 policy. So before we end this recording, Blessing, do you want to say something?
No, so just input for the team
Exercise,
you can just in addition to HO3 also try to quote and issue a HO4 as well as a HO6 policy type.
Sure. Thank you very much. So I'm just ending this recording.